Hey everybody, a slightly less frustrated Mike here at Game From Scratch, and today we're getting back on the topic of game development. Specifically, we're going to be looking at free game art. Everyone loves free, everyone loves games, everyone loves art. Win, win, win. Actually, we're going to be looking at game art kits. These are basically resources out there that give you all you need to create your own game. Now, of course, there are downsides to it. You're going to see everyone else using the same thing because it's available for free, but there's still a lot of value here. Instead of having to hunt around for years and years and years, which can get incredibly frustrating, not YouTube content ID frustrating, but frustrating nonetheless, to try and find everything you need to create your game. And when you're just starting out, if you're building a platformer game, having all the assets you need to create that game, especially good-looking assets, makes it a whole lot easier and more motivating to keep going. So that's what we're looking at today. We're looking at a number of resources out there on the web that give you everything you need to create a game, all in one place. So, without further ado, let us jump right in. Now, as always, I will toss a link down below with all the URLs of everything I'm talking about, so don't worry about the specific sites. They'll all be down below in order that I discussed them. And the first one, obviously, is Kenny NL. Kenny is also known as Asset Jesus, and he has been creating free content packs forever. If you've seen a tutorial from an official game site for their 2D engine, it was probably using Kenny NL's platformer kit. He's got 7 pages of this stuff right now. 3 sets of assets you can buy as kits, but you can also download all of his individual stuff. And it's quite good. He's been branching into the 3D world more and more. You can see like a simplistic polygonal style for 3D assets. But Kenny's is probably the most popular of the free art sites out there, and for good reason. So if you're looking to start some kind of a game kit, if you want to make a mini golf game, he's got assets. You want to make a racing game, he's got assets. You want to make a platformer, he's got an asset. And if you want to help him out, he's also got a Patreon, I believe, to back it up. A lot of these guys, basically, that's how it works. They've got either content for sale additionally, or they've got a Patreon behind it, or a bit of both. So next up, we have Pixel Game Art. Now, I use this guy's stuff all the time. I love his work. He does really cool classic stuff, and he's got a bunch of stuff available for free. I just used this Gothic Vania set, the Cemetery set, for my default tutorial, for example. And I think I used the Tiny RPG Town in the past for a different tutorial. I use him for tutorials all the time because he does like a really cool art style for like that retro 16-bit pixel graphics look. So his name is Asimov. He's also got a store where he's got stuff available and he's got support, but he does make a ton of assets available for free. On top of that, he actually even does a lot of times games using the assets. So I think Sunnyland, for example, is a platformer. You can also go in and get, you see here it says Phaser. There is a complete Phaser project that shows you how to use these assets in action. So Pixel Game Art is awesome. Definitely one to check out. Next up, we've got Cron Bits. Now, Cron Bits makes a tool. So they make a pixel tool for creating tiles, but they also create a big bundle of assets that they've created with it. So you see here, pixel art, free game assets. You go over here. They've also got free textures, a bunch of different stuff they created using their kit. So if you're looking for palettes or a little bit of a mishmash of everything, definitely a place to check. And also keep in mind they do have tools for sale as well. For turning images into 8-bit art style art. So a lot of their content is created using their own tools. So that's Cron Bits. Next up, we have what is his name? Quaternion. Now, Quaternion is, you're seeing his stuff more and more on Reddit. He does these low resolution, often animated. So these guys are all fully animated, but low resolution kits for 3D. And he's done just an absolute ton of them. Now, obviously, if you're working in sprites, you could render this out using a tool like Blender, no problem. But you see, he does just a miscellaneous mishmash of asset styles. Now, the cool thing is, he's done so many different things, but he has a very consistent art style. So if you're looking to create just a general game, you can probably find enough assets from this guy to create a full-blown game. Not just a single pack. So if you need trees, you need cars, you need things to go in your world, you need buildings, you need houses, you need hot air balloons or planes or furniture. He's got it, and he's got it in a very consistent art style. He's also got a pack where you can download all of his stuff for, I think, $1. Yeah. So if you like his work, you want to support him, it's $1, which is pretty sweet. Yeah. So next up, we have Game Art 2D. Now, Game Art 2D sells game art sprite packages, but they also make a number of freely available sprites and tile sets as well. Good quality work. And again, it's completely free. They've also got some UI components. So if you do like their free stuff, do be sure to check out their not so free stuff. They've got a ton of stuff available as well. But you can see here, there are a number of different sprites and characters and tile sets to get you started. That's a link from my last video. I don't know why that's still in there. I apologize for it. And then next up, we have Unlucky Studio, and he has also made a number of art packages. And if you saw the background graphic for my actual video, came from here, one of his game backgrounds. But what's really impressive is this free 2D character pack. And you can see he's done like so elves, knights, brave knight, wizards, so on. If you like his art style, he's got an absolute ton of them. And if you go into one of them, such as the elf here, how do I get into it? Yeah, download link. Here we go. You'll see what it actually contains is a whole bunch of different frame animations, split up characters so you can use them with like a spine or a spriter. It comes with, I think, spriter formatted skeletal files already created. So yeah, here you get AI, PNG, SCML, which is from the skeletal format for spriter, and EPS file format downloads. You can see the end result right here. You do have to register to download, and as you can see, if you want more characters in the same vein to his free ones, he's also got some available for sale for like $4 or $5. A lot of freebies available here. You can come in here again, go to the freebies section, and there are an absolute ton of them. And then we're kind of getting into the honorable mention category. This is kind of what I mentioned earlier, that searching around for this stuff can be kind of frustrating. Well, there are a couple of sites that make the search a little bit more pleasant. The first one is itch.io. Actually, a number of the assets I just featured are also featured, or at least some of them are featured up on itch.io. You come in here, you can search for their top free assets, and you will find a whole raft of them. So again, so here you can see that's from the Pixel Game Art site I linked earlier. So some of the content is definitely duplicated here. So if you're looking for a search engine or a place to find game art, this is one place to check. And then there is also the OG. Open Game Art is the original repository for sharing game art online. Again, you will see a lot of overlap here. My problem with Open Game Art is it's starting to get it needs to be a little bit more curated. There's a lot of garbage you have to go through, and it does make it a little frustrating finding the gems amongst the more inferior products out there. But that is it. That is a quick look at all of the various different game art packs that I can find. Is there one that you would recommend? I'm looking specifically for full packages where you've got an entire theme, a lot of materials for that theme, and also for free. If you've got a suggestion that I missed, please leave it in the comments down below. But hopefully I gave you some kind of a resource you can use. Now, you've probably seen me use a couple of these in the past. I use them again. I sometimes use these in my own tutorials, and I've linked a couple of these sites in my 5 Great Website series. So if you're having a bit of a deja vu sense on this channel, that is why. But I believe there are definitely a few new ones that were showcased today. And hopefully one of you guys found this useful. I'm sure you found it more useful than my YouTube rant at the very least. So let me know what you think. Comments down below. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.